Alright, let's see the difference sitting down now, how this comes out. We still discussing the beast, and when you discussing the beast, you're talking about the self. I want you to understand that first. That's who the beast is. Like I told you, if you follow me, you know that you're divided into like the Godhead. It's like you have a head on this side and a head on this side. This head is God's head and this head is the beast head. But both of them is trying to sway you in a direction to either go into your soul towards the beast or your soul towards God. And people say, oh, it's just a game that them two is playing, but it's very real. It's very real. There's nothing to joke about it. I'm not here making it up. I didn't make it up. I'm going through it and I'm seeing it, as a seer, somebody who could see into the parallel. We're going to discuss all of those things because it's still all Egyptian, and it got to do with Kundalini activation. It got to do with the Key of Solomon. To give you an understanding, I just saw that movie Constantine, and my mouth dropped because it's actually real things. We can't underestimate these movies. Constantine is the same like me telling you to Solomon. With everyone, look, I got different things for killing demons from this. This is a tool. This tool is so usable in so many ways. It's unbelievable. Then you have the 7 rings, the chakras. You understand? These are the 7 rings. These is to get through gatekeepers. I also have now this little star ball, this globe with the stars on it for keeping the archons in check and the archangels. And this right here, this little thing is for the beast. My God. And it symbolizes intelligence. Whenever you see the sign, just like an asterisk sign or whatever, go straight. A lot of these movies have them, and you will understand. Whenever you see one tower, just know it means intelligence. And it's an old symbol for what that means. That's on the occult tip. So now, with all these different symbols, everything has to do with power and how do this actually work, and its connection to the beast. Well, all of these is what you first have to have for you to encounter the beast and survive. You got to have power. I remember I started my Facebook group, University of Conscious Science, and my first post was to go out and seek power, explaining it to them. And that was maybe, almost a year ago now. Soon be a year soon. But up to now, I don't believe nobody acquired power because I haven't acquired no power, and I've been seeking power ever since I left that. And it would have been the aim. And up to now, you would say it's closed until the aim has been met. So when you go back and you acquired some power, you ask, okay, so everybody's ready now? We got the power? The magic will work now. Or you could have influence as far as your mind upon your reality to will things into existence. So power, what power we talking about is willpower. The laws of attraction. It's important to understand that concept. The laws of attraction. How does that work? What does that do? What do you mean? That's far-fetched. Well, let's look at it like this to make it make sense in a simple way. If you're in the United States, more than likely, we wouldn't need the laws of attraction. You got a job, everything is in place for you. Now, say you was in a foreign place, like say Africa, where you in some place, doggone territories, desert, you don't have much to, options as far as what you're going to eat and how you're going to do. And so this is where the law of attraction will apply more to them than to a person who has industrial technology and corporations at their disposal, because they don't have a desire. Your desire, it would be more pseudo. It wouldn't be actually the real desire. So those who's in desperate need and is in desperation put out a different frequency, a different signal. And those is when the laws of attraction align itself to help in those situations, because our desire is not really a desire. It falls under the Diablo, which is a different type of desire. So say you were starving and you didn't have no food or anything like that, and it's actually people with kids that can't feed them, then that's when their willpower comes in. And this will now, with their mind, actually bring synchronicity through the universe that makes another person resonate, and all of a sudden aid is brought to them in some type of relief. And that's how the laws of attraction work. And so it's through sorrow, through pain, adversity, that we acquire this gift and this ability and this power. It's sacrificing, sacrificing what you love, sacrificing what you desire to actually make something work, make something better that you see inside. And so by you acquiring this power now, you have influence on the magnetic field. If you would have done it right, or it would have been accomplished, you would say there was a process, a visual to it. This visual and this process would replicate your chakras and the system of the flower of life, and actually how the whole system of what we call PK energy and psychokinesis work, your psychosomatic systems, all of these play into it now. It's kind of weird. You like, what does that mean? Well, you see, now to acquire this gift, you will first have to learn how to unlock your blocked chakras, or what they say, every chakra have a knot. And you will look at every chakra in your body will be like a pore in your skin that is blocked up. And so it's not actually now the pore, but it's, you would say you have a cannabinoid system. That would be equivalent to the invisible cannabinoid system. And they call it, the nadis, the knots, or the different vortexes that's all over your body. You got cellular wave that's flowing, but it's closed, so you don't have nothing flowing until you start going in yourself, within. Your first attempt at going within is going to be kind of uncomfortable. Maybe sometimes you feel lightheaded, dizzy. All of these is the actual energy actually connecting itself now and putting itself in configuration for your journey through. It's like you're taking circles that's algorithm all over the place and aligning them through magnetics. You're electric, but you lack magnetics. So we have to increase our magnetic field, which is what we came in. And by increasing our magnetic field, we make what we have is a macabre start twirling, start spinning. And eventually that's where you want to get to, where your chakras start spinning. You see them, they throwing them in movies and Tron. That's what those are. Those circles is chakras. And so you're a chakra diva, a god. But we don't know ourselves, or we deny ourselves until we brought into certain traumas, certain experiences that awaken us from the program that what we believe to our true self. So with that in mind now, the journey to getting the willpower and actually the law of attraction to work in your favor is actually within yourself. We don't come out of the air. We don't come from heaven up above. We come from within. Everything is an internal journey, Agatha. And so you come from the inner earth, which is the inner you. The inner earth will render you from the inner earth to the inner universe, which from the inner universe will enter you into the inner Milky Way. From the inner Milky Way, you enter the inner black hole. From the inner black hole, you go into other places. Well, our solar system got a black hole, so you go from our solar system into the black hole and through many things. A black hole is just a toroid field. It's shaped like a donut coming out this way and that way. As you enter, you're just going to see shapes, colors, Pythagorean symbols, all the different symbols. It's all symbols beautifully laid out like in DMT. And you don't die or anything. You just go through and you see you're in a donut or a T. And you come out, either you could go to another dimension, or you could stay and go into what's called the Milky Way. As you go in the Milky Way, it's a spinning swirl, but you're way far from it. It's like a pool that has different frequencies to it. So, soon they're going to be telling you that they could travel through black holes. They seen what's inside of a black hole, but I'm telling you what it is. They're going to tell you it's a donut, but it's a toroid. It's a toroidal field, only made for souls to go through. That's how you could go through. Cameras could go through, because cameras could pick up different frequencies. So they'll be able to figure that out eventually. Now, once we get our magnetic fields up, it's like you're connecting yourself to different chakra gods. So, you know, the story of Solomon is basically about your subconscious mind opening up through you going within and facing your demons, which will take you down to your root chakra. You know it's open all the way because you just feel like you're facing some dark, evil stuff, and you feel consumed in darkness and spirits, and you see eyes and faces. That's the beginning of your journey. You're in your root chakra, Muladhara chakra, and that's where you're in your body of desire now. So it's like you body doubled into your second body, but your second body isn't the same size as this body, it's smaller. So it will be at your navel area, your private area, and you're starting up frequencies, many bandwidth. Like if I was to take my forehead, you see these lines coming in. That's one zone right here, but it has many frequencies to it. The same way our skin dude is the same way the ocean is. If you can see the ocean water, it got the same wave bandwidth. So do the sky, got the same, but it's a nice, beautiful day. So these is magnetic fields in the air. Everything is aligned through magnetic field. Light is just a magnetic field intensified. So if you was to take one particle of light and look at it from a microscope, all you're gonna see is thin layers of black, white, black, white, black, white, and bars. That's all it is, bars. Just I'm talking one ray of light. And so our body is the same way. It's made up of light, and that's why the sun follows circadian rhythm and feed us different frequencies and megahertz of light and colors to actually what we heal and feed off of. So back to this law of attraction. So when you're able to get the powers and get yourself connected, you run through your body. As you go through each chakra, it unfolds. It actually is a knot that is tight. It's like a woman's vagina that is a virgin, and you penetrate in it and you open it, and as you open it up, it actually becomes now from the inner inside a flower or a circle comes. This circle down here now, as it opens up here, like say the inner circle, another circle of one come out here, and another one come out, and another one come out, and another one come out, another one come out, another one come out. And as you go into more, it keeps on being flooded all out into a sunflower, which is one chakra open. Eventually, it just falls over like it's dead like that. But you're already through it. You're gone. You're on your way. So these is actually you finish round with the first root chakra, and you're on your way up. These now journeys don't just happen like as quick as I say. It has to do with your day-to-day reality. Meaning, like, you're going to experience friends, people, that is in reference to if you're seeing it spiritually or you're able to travel through and see these ghost images, it's in reference to that, a gatekeeper that has a part of your perception. And until you perceive what it's trying to show you, we act out in certain ways. We have certain desires, or we just see people a certain way. And until it snaps into us, and then that gatekeeper move, it would be like you left one bandwidth and up into another bandwidth. This could take a minute. It could take up to one lifetime just to go from one to the other. We stuck sometime in repetitive cycles of life that we don't learn these soul lessons, these things that actually is here to teach us how to be better as a human being, not to teach us how to work a computer, how to build iPhones, how to do stuff that's just, go to school to learn it, to just get money. I'm talking about who you are as an individual, the love, hate, envies that you create within yourself, and dualities you create within yourself, and the challenges you put upon yourself, your egos, your splits in your personalities, the truth that's within you that you're not actually accepting as truth, and you portray it in different characters. All these is different frequencies that reside in you that make us not whole. And being not whole and split up, it's like you have a forever journey, a forever you that changes constantly due to the astronomical alignment of planets and the tide going in and out. So you become an emotional creature that's controlled by matter, which is matter is the stars. Everything that's around you, your desires, the things you see is real. So once you go through each chakra, a different perception open, because you unlock a devil, a Devi. That was the original word, and the Devi is the highest you could say, because the Devi represent God on a level of your understanding. You understand what I'm saying? Say you're supposed to be up here, and there's 7 levels to where your your sex area is at. You divide it evenly into 7 layers. Each one got God in it from the crown where he's the most loving and just accepting. But as it goes down, he's more questioning. He's like the judge. He's gonna challenge everything. Down here, he's gonna speak everything. Throat chakra give you the ability to say no, I can't, and all that stuff. The heart one give you the courage. So without all these things closed, other people come and influence you. You watch a movie and you believe it, and all that we think is history, because we don't read history books no more. History is actually the TV. What they see is actually supposed to take place. We believe that's, this happened. When that's a digital history book now, and they're perceiving our reality for us, so we don't have to need history because we believe that actually occurred, until we wake up to like the 9/11 bullshit is fake, and all the false flag stuff that's going on. It's so much deception. There is no true history. It was never no history. It's his story, and it's the ruling body that controls what they want us to perceive. But it's up to you to only perceive what's important to you, or what you need for your survival, because you're in an illusion anyway, Maya. So once you get these understanding, you'll be able to navigate better now and understand. For you to will, and you need the power, you will have to take the inner journey, that every time you go through a chakra, you unlock a sheath frequency over yourself, a different God. Every time, it's like they're playing the tarot. You have to get all 72 of them, just like the 72 demons. You let them out, and you'll know, because certain things don't have no influence on you no more. So say, for instance, you desire for a woman, men's with big lips, and so you can deny a man with big lips, so it just was your turn on, and especially when you're fucking. By you defeating that gatekeeper, men with big lips has no more influence on you. You understand? That's how it will work. Same thing if you like women with certain hairdo or certain thing about her. Those is real gatekeepers that's holding you and constraining you to that desire, that circle that you keep revolving in. You have to break it, that you desire this now, but it don't stay constant. It changes the next day. And so you keep growing and maturing. If not, you're going to stuck in a state of where your desires take you on a mission to be a servant to your desire. And so you have to be careful of that for you to ascend. And so now, with all this, and you do all your chakras, and you get up to the top one, because each one has a gatekeeper that, like I said, you have a life experience come with it. And if you perceive it and overstand it, don't use force to resolve it, and resolve it with no violence, no nothing. Just resolve it using intelligence. You make it to the next level. And so each level, as you go through, you get to the crown. It's like it's zipped up. It's a zipper here that's closed. And the gods, the air gods, open you up and let you out. Once you're free, you're free. And that's enlightenment, where you pass the Buddha field, And so all of these is actually a philosophy, a mythology, of forces that we consider psychosomatic inside of you. And these psychosomatic forces, the Egyptian gods. And if they have them in different picture, from Celtic to Nordic to every culture have their own version of the same story. And every system of religion have the same story, but written in a different way, with Sanskrit being the original version because it dates back to the early Africans' information and their little war between the Asiatics and the Negroes back then, you could say, for that information, with the Saxons coming in and annihilating everybody, changing the genetic code, mutating them to all hybrids, and re-putting them back out and destroying the information. It's a lot to this. It's a lot to this. And, I just want y'all to understand how it works. So let's say now you acquire some power, willpower, will. All this comes through circles, believe it or not. As you build up your magnetic field, you could use the sun to actually induce your magnetic field. That's what the sun does. It's a magnetic field inducer. Just like you see when the sun has a solar flare shooting at the earth, what the earth do is pulse up its magnetic field. You understand? So by you sun staring and staying in the sun a lot, you increase your magnetic field. By you meditating in the sun, you increase your magnetic field. Then you have great willpower. Soon you'll be able to not just, when we talking about meditating, it's like you send shock waves through the universe, very subtle shock waves as you travel in these journeys of collecting back all the soul pieces, your splits, and unifying them into one. That's Kundalini. But you're also now, if you know the craft or you know how to use the um, the laws of attraction, it's like you use a system to imagine what you want, make it come into fruition in your mind like a smoke cloud. And through meditation, you shockwave it back into the matrix. By you doing that, you cause an effect. You make something comes into your reality later on. Everything comes from the spiritual to the physical world. These are the laws, the natural laws. This is what Maya is. And if you want to understand how life works, you have to be able to know you're the mind that affects the world. It takes a lot of people to make something happen, they say praying. But one person could do way more than 1,000,000 people if he studies, if he actually work on his power, his magnetic field. You understand? And so that's your first lesson as a black man, as a black woman, as a human being. If you plan to be here, you can't keep running to doctors, you can't keep running to a hospital. Going within actually show you what's wrong with your body. It's actually a dead cells that don't have no magnetic field life to it until you're conscious of this information and work like the Egyptians. You see them in compromising meditative position, holding medicine balls. That gives them power to increase their magnetic field. It's a whole science to that. They're not just standing there, and you're gonna learn it through me. But in time, as you know, I'm going through changes, and it's a lot of things going on with the beast, and I have to make sure all information that I'm passing on is not off the cause of somebody else's demise or warning of the three skulls. See no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. The reason that is, you can't just give this information to anybody because it could hurt people. You could cause changes in people's life. But it's something that has to be brought out, and I'm letting you know now. You have to be careful because these are changes that you cannot rechange. Once you open these Pandora boxes, it's permanent. Kundalini is permanent. You have to learn it. It's not something you just doing instantly. It's like that. It's an attack. It's a forever attack with God. You have to know that you're half human and half a being. Right side, left side. And so you spend half of your time in and half of your time out. And so you don't have control over those things. Kundalini have control over that. And if you're planning to be a Kundalini baby or activate your Kundalini, I advise you to, just Google. You could Google the adversities of activating your Kundalini premature or, early Kundalini activation. What is the cause and effect? So you get to see that this is real. It messes with your endocrinology system, your mind, everything. And if you're not mentally prepared to see circles, squares, all types of mathematics, the past, the future, everything, uncontrollably, you're not ready for this type of stuff. You understand what I'm saying? And the ancestors and the gods know this. That's why it's not featured in everybody. It's a journey you choose. You have to desire it and want it, and then somehow it appears in your life, or you find yourself a guru or a master that could walk you through these stuff slowly and help you unlock yourself without causing the adverse effects that you will see when you Google it or hear about it. But it's everybody's journey back to their soul, back to who they are. And so that's why I encourage people to get power through experience. Your power resides in having experiences of life. And the experience is actually you encountering the true self within yourself, to face the truth, your limitations, when you're wrong. Knowing those things is where perception is at. It's not your ego or being right or teaching. Those is actually after you have learned your lesson. Then you could do those. But if you yourself haven't been punished by the gods on your beliefs and what you think is, then you haven't really learned anything. They're the ones who show you the truth, and the truth is nothing like what we perceive it to be. The truth is something totally opposite. It's the opposite, like, the zodiac and the procession. One go one way and one go the other way, but you use both of them, and it determines your natal chart. So it's important that we understand power, our magnetic field. Everything happens in the magnetic field different from when it happens in this world of no magnetic field, even though you're in a magnetic field. You understand? Meaning, when you're going to apply power, it's like you have to know how to use your magnetic field to affect things. And that's the first science, magnetic field. Everything magnetic field. It's crazy, right? But that's what the Egyptians are showing you. And once you do that, you're going to have to deal with the stars and the beings that come along with your subconscious. And your subconscious is everything, as above, so below. You have to organize it and clear it out, and you can do it. I have a clear Merkaba right now. It's nothing in it. And it don't have nothing to do with the story of the beast that I'm going to tell you. By you understanding how everything works, you'll be able to perceive without having to see no images, without having to go through some psychological changes. So, stay tuned. We're going to continue this. I'm going to cut this short for now. I just want you to understand power and will and how everything works as far as you entering the underworld, the Tuat, facing your true self. It's all in the journey, and it takes not for everybody who's get it. Only certain people could get it because, for me studying, I was reading the Colburn Bible or whatever recently, and it speaks about it in the Book of Gleamings, how man and the beast are, we're separated, and women have a lot to do with the beast, it's our animal desires, they love of the alpha male. All of those is beastly things that woman desire, and her chasing her desire, she provide and sustain the environment for the beast to be in, and the beast attack man, and I'm not saying that now today woman is to blame. This is back in ancient Egypt. You could study the Colburn to see what I'm talking about. But what it does do is give you an understanding there is a beast, there is something in existence that is covertly acting through us to make us go on the wrong path. And for you to be awakened to this and not just look at everything on a superficial level is the first step to part of your awakening. In my journey now, the beast is the last part. I went from the beginning and to the end is the beast, the last person you have to face before the journey is over. And so it's the most covertest way because it's your sneaky side. It's the side that you deny, the motives behind you do everything. And so you learn it. It's a nature, but it's real. It's the dog. The beast is a dog. And the only way you can see it spiritually is teeth. You're only going to see teeth, like fangs, like a vampire. And he controlled vampires. I'm going to do one on vampirism and psychic vampires because that's the beast who has raped the person, took their life from them. And that person now have to go and rape somebody else and take their life force from them. When we look at those ancient movies on vampires, Dracula, we see them drinking blood and biting people on the neck, taking their blood. It doesn't work in the sense like that anymore. You got to look at it as spiritual. With the life force is the blood. That's what's in it. That's what they're taking out. So the life force comes from your two eggs. Women got them, so do men got them in their scrotums. So this life force keeps us alive. We don't live off of air. Air is what's killing us. It's demons. I have to do a post about that. But it's the life force that makes us actually have ability to stand, have energy to our organs, and not age so fast. For life force get turned into chi energy, then into prana energy, then into ching energy, and then into shen energy up here, at the crown. So the concepts is real, and it's a conversion process as it goes through the chakra system. And so when you realize you're dealing with the beast and this life force that I tell you is sucked out of people, it doesn't come to be drinking in the blood. That's just a you could say it's just a personification they use in a fairy tale way to show you a true story, how somebody spiritually put their mind on you, put their energy on you, and drain your life force out of you. There's people out here that's empaths, that's targeted. They target empaths the most because it's like you have an open magnetic field. And being that your field is open because you're so subject to helping people and your heart is open, they attach to it, and they not only can siphon your energy physically in front of you through paying sorry for themselves or feeling bad and you trying to sympathize with them, but they could lay in their bed at nights when you're sleeping and psychically attach themselves to you and drain your energy at any given time. As soon as you're energized, they could drain your energy. So, when you study these psychic vampires, it's a disconnection from God. They lost their connection to the ethereal energy, or what we call argon energy. Argon energy itself is actually the light. When we talk about the light in religion, and we talk about the darkness in religion, we're talking about God and the beast, the two forces. Those two forces now, as they compete or make up what's called the yin and yang, in between we get frequencies, bandwidths. These bandwidths form our visible light spectrum, or what we see as the seven colors, the seven heavens. And these seven colors now is what give us existence. So we'll never see ether, but there is two parts to it. It's polarity, feminine and masculine, a light and a dark. The light is God and the dark is the beast. Now those two is fighting for your soul, because that's why they make the bandwidth your reality. You live within the light spectrum. You understand? There's also an infrared spectrum or gamma ray spectrum and so forth that is beyond their control, that other things live in. So you have to understand what's going on here. It just applies to what you could see, and you're very limited to the visible light spectrum and what you can hear, which dogs can hear better than you and cats can see more than you can. So their perception of reality will be more understanding. They're more intelligent. They see more than us. They could teach us. There are teachers. So I want you to understand these things because they have a lot of influence on us. And for you to understand the beast and how it actually tricks you and is here in you and is part of your desires and part of your anger, part of your love. Because if you didn't love, you wouldn't hate. And if you love, you're going to hate next, especially if you're unconscious. Love is something that's unconditional. It has no conditions to it. So you can't love and hate. You understand? And so you will get to understand how we use sneaky ways. Nature disguises every animal to covertly fit into its background as a camouflage, not just to attack, but to defend itself. And so we are sneaky within ourselves, and that's the manifestation of the beast. I'm going to get into the stories into the next video. I keep saying that, but why am I keep saying that and I'm continuing? It looks like I got time. I got like 10 more minutes. So let's pick it up and walk around now so I could loosen up and get into this beast talk. Alright? So, this beast, how did it come in? Let's see if we can knock this out in 10 minutes. I started noticing it in the weirdest ways, I'm going into meditation, and all of a sudden, it's some teeth in my vision. It's like in my vision. But it's like if I'm looking at the clouds, but then all of a sudden, before the clouds, it'll be just teeth. And I'm like, who fucking teeth is this? You can't see nobody, it's just the teeth. So I keep seeing this like it's not afraid of me or nothing. It's just intimidating. So every time I go into meditation, this is about, I'll say, a month and a half ago it started. I stopped and I'm wondering who it is. You can't attack it. It just stands there and it just looks at you. It just made its presence known. It's an uncomfortable presence. It feels threatening, but you can't do nothing. It renders you like mindless as far as trying to attack it, trying to do something. It's just like, you was paralyzed. And so I'm like, what the hell? I'm not intimidated by it, but I couldn't understand it. So I started to leave. I started to leave my house saying, nah, this is getting too much because it keep snapping up and startling me at the weirdest places. And so I go to my uncle's house for a quick minute, to try to pull myself together to find out what's going on, to see it get even more crazier when I go over there. I'm in meditation and I see, I'm the black horseman and I deal with that sheaf, that Godhead. I'm not saying I'm the only one. It just is a spirit that is over all of us. You understand? But who channels is genetic by line. So anyways now, I'm seeing the horseman getting shot in the face with like a revolver 38. I keep seeing it in the clouds. I see it always happening with just these teeth keep coming up. So while I'm at my uncle's house pondering on it, he shows me an old ass album from probably back in the early 60s with my grandmother in it. So I zoom in on the picture and I start scanning it, and sure enough I see the beast's teeth in the reflection in the mirror. So I'm saying, wait a minute, this has been here for a while. All of a sudden I'm at my house editing a video and I see the beast, and I'm gonna show it in one of these videos. And it's in this video, as a matter of fact. I think I'm outside with the wind and I show two sides, and the beast coming from one side with his mouth. It just starts showing itself more. The same teeth keep coming up, and then it didn't just come up. It came with experiences. All of a sudden, it was like I had to make some choices that took me offline for a minute. My music is being heard by my neighbors and everybody in the new neighborhood as I'm preparing my videos, and they want to record and rap and learn all this stuff. So, being American and our friendly self, we go and we, record them. But it kept being an everyday thing, and more people is hearing and asking for recording, which is compromising my work on what I have to do. So at first now, your first response, shut it down and get the fuck out of here, it's not adding up. But when you're in the beast, you're in a Buddha state. It's like you're in a Buddha lesson. You can only see it, but you can't do anything about it. You have to allow it to take its course, because it's actually there for you to learn from. So when you're feeling discomfort, it's not like you actually out of in a discomfortable state. It's actually the act of learning. It brings about a discomfort in you, so you have to maintain through the most hostile situation and see what is it that is happening, because you learn in Demonology 101. So you have to experience it and psychologically make sense of it. So with all that in mind now, I'm having images come through. It's just now the Grim Reaper is up there with me and he's around, and I see the horseman, but he keep on getting shot in the face, getting killed. So I'm scared to death, like what the hell is happening? Maybe I'm not supposed to take this journey into this music stuff, but at the same time, I got a whole bunch of guys, gangsters, killers, niggas coming from all types of all over. Yo, we need you, we need you. They saying my recording is the best quality recording, better than CD recording, all this other stuff. It's not even about the beats, and it's just how I record my music. The quality of it is clear as fuck. So anyways, now, they're offering me money, but I don't need money. I don't need nothing. I'm just here to ascend. I have to deny the external world. And so the external world is pushing itself on me. I come from the streets. I'm from hustling. I'm from doing music, signing a record label. It appealed to a side of me. A side of me I have to deny. And so with that in mind now, I have to make choices, but I'm seeing this Grim Reaper. What the fuck is the Grim Reaper doing around me? Just standing there with the sickle skeleton face. So now I run home and I see my neighbor, which I'm trying to keep it down. And all of a sudden I hear that night my mother died. Not only do I hear my mother die, gunshots start going off in the neighborhood. And I'm like, what the hell? As I'm hearing that she died, passed away, it's gunshots going off. These gunshots now, the next day I find out it was a 38 revolver and they was trying to rob the ATM machine and had a shootout with the police. So all of this now got me tripping. I don't know what's going on, why is this happening, but it's not my regular feng shui stuff. And everybody's seeking me out. It went from like me being in my temple with just the spirits, attending to this, to like constantly somebody's there, constantly somebody need help with this, constantly it's like all distraction came. I'm in the beast now. It's different. No more peace, no nothing. Everybody wants something, and I'm noticing it. So you take time out to help. Do what you could do. Everything that you can. You hear. Even some of it be covert shit. Niggas stealing, robbing, want to kill you. All of this no matter, because you can't do nothing to nobody. You do it to yourself. So you learn all of these frequencies now. And this is how you learn demonology, because look at it as, why would a person that have contact with you or talk to you, or why? It's a reason for everything. Once you learn motives, you get a greater understanding. So now, it's weird. After my mother passed away, the Grim Reaper disappeared and everything stopped. So I try to put it all together to figure, is it now a career in what I do, which is this, or a career in music, which is something else? And so everybody is pushing me towards music, but I know that's the B side of it, and so I have to make sure I keep myself grounded by not participating too much in it. But in meditation, all of this is just playing out like if the horsemen get killed and a bunch of new young people with guns. It's just mad people with guns. I'm even seeing spirits with 2 shotguns across the waist popping up. I'm like, nah, this is crazy. So to make understanding, in this world, right, it's like you pick up everything that's going on in the astral, but it don't pertain to you. Only what pertains to you is what's in your macabre. So, upon going back to my home and meditating and facing the beast, uniting with him, he came, swallowed me, and I stopped running. It stopped. Everything stopped. And, I see everything still. Nothing changed. Everybody's covert. Everybody is trying to pretend. And then I had to learn to pretend and be covert too, just to protect the higher self from being polluted. And then I realized we live in a pretending covert world. You got to realize how nature made everything. So to understand the beast is to look beyond covertness and what we see as regular, because everybody's coming as the wolf in sheep clothing. The beast story is way much deeper now. Let's get to the basics of it. I got 4 minutes. The beast, if you read in Revelations, is at the throne with God. Those are the ones that say holy, holy, holy with the elders. So the beast is not what we say like in Revelations and all that stuff. Go read the book. It actually say he was sent with the horsemen. The beast works, the horsemen work for the beast. The beast is sent as on God's behalf to help the people who's dead already. If you read the story, the souls of the dead is saying, yo, when you going to avenge us? When you going to do something for us? So he sends the beast and the horsemen to start attacking human beings. That's all it was, because they're not going to attack nobody else but y'all psychology, because y'all the spirit. But the flesh is going to be attacked. You have to separate the two, else not, you're going to get caught up. That's why everything is about the Tuat, the underworld, and releasing yourself from attachments. Buddha studies is the same thing. You got to understand what's going on. So once you realize that these things is real and they have influence over you, you will have to submit and subject yourself, that you realize you're the consciousness. You're not neither one of them. You're not all the way the spirit like how you think. It's your consciousness that rule, and you will start yourself to freeing yourself from all that stuff. Well, the time is almost running out on this, right? So I want you to just understand the beast position. He's not no evil thing. He's not no white people is the beast. It's not this religion is the beast. Everybody and everything is the beast. The beast is it's the yin and yang. It's the other side. You have to know it and to do magic, how they work, how life works. So without knowing God, you can't know the beast. Without knowing the beast, you can't know God, because it's the same person. It's the reflection of the same person. Who they don't like, the beast don't like human beings. God don't like human beings. They coming to destroy human beings. You got to realize that that's what the book say. You're going to have to play sides. That's why everybody run. You know, when the shit starts in Revelation, to tell you that angels stopped everything for a minute and said, protect the earth and protect everything. They held the wind back so that they could protect the earth. But they said, human beings, nah, get rid of them. That's when they say they're going to run under the this and run out of that. It's us that's fake, and we have to fix that shit before it's too late. You understand what I'm saying? If you can't change the world, but you can change yourself. So read that yourself, and you will see that the beast is at the throne with God, holy, 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 holy all the time. The beast is his dog. That's all it is. It's a pet dog. You can see a shadow being up over him, holding it. It will represent the bulldog with the man with the chain. Or Samson fighting the seven-headed dragon. That's the dog, the seven-headed dog, or Boros, or whatever you call it. That's all the same. Anyway, I'm going to keep this going, but I'm running out of time and space. It's good to be back, and I'm going to be going live so we could talk, you know what I'm saying? And we'll kick it from there, but these two will be the intro before we start the live. University of Conscious Science. One love.